Quite possibly the worst botch of all time. Welcome back to Fog Wrestling. What did I say last night? I said SmackDown would be brutal. And it delivered, right? This has to be one of the worst sequences you will ever see in a wrestling ring, right? And not the worst thing about it is, we're not talking about some indie event in front of 5 people out the back, right? Out in the West Wing. We are talking about the main event of SmackDown. A show that has seen some of the greatest matches of all time. Some of the biggest matches, man. Look at some of the matches. Triple H versus The Rock, Michael's special guest referee, 1999. Think of that Survivor Series. I know it wasn't a match, but Survivor. Well, there was a match before it, but then it ended up in the 5-on-5 brawl for the winner takes all Survivor Series, right? Think how perfect those 10 guys got all their spots in, right? Stunners, rock bottoms, angle slams, lion salts, steel chair shots, scissors kicks, everything, frog splashes, the Rob Van Dam, choke slams, you name it, man. It lasts rides, right? Even to the minute detail of when Kurt Angle goes for the angle slam, right? On Big Show, and Undertaker moves the chair out the road, right? While he's incapacitated. That's a ring general, and that's a great guy, right? And to other matches, like Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar Iron Man match. I'm missing a lot here. Hell, we just watched one the other night. It was pretty good. Our 2003 retro reviews. What was it? It was Kurt Angle, Brock, and Mr. America, Hulk Hogan, taking on Big Show in the world's greatest tag team. Great main event. Great 6-man tag. And look at the state of it now, folks, right? You get 43 fat, out of shape Nia Jax. Not that when she was like 33, right, she was ever in shape. No, that would be lies. You've got Jade Cargill, who just can't work and needs to be protected in a role that suits her. Fair play to Tony Khan, he actually did that. And then you've got Tiffany Stratton, who's just... I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say Tiffany Stratton is one of the worst wrestlers I've ever seen in the ring. I think on her day she can produce a good match, but in terms of stock, rock bottom, right? So what you've got in this match is just a perfect disaster. As this Twitter account has put it, this should never main event SmackDown. Never in a million years. I mean, it's a women's title match. It's crap, right? And the worst thing about this is, I seen this earlier in a comatose state, and it looked fucking horrendous. I've since seen it now that I've woken up, had a wee cup of coffee. It's even worse than when I seen it in the comatose state. So what we're going to do is break it down. Now, obviously, there's going to be a lot of people breaking this down. I'm looking forward to Stevie Richards breaking this down, because he fucking loves burying botches, and I'm all for it, damn it. Anyway, so, let's see. So, what is, I mean, this move here for Jade Cargill's irrelevant. What we're going to look at is the actual pin, and after, now obviously, WWE are very, oh, you can't show that. I mean, there's people on YouTube that literally react to the show and include it in massive clips, and they're going to begrudge me like a 35-second clip, so what I'm going to have to do is do a lot of pausing, but here, that's for the sake of copyright, Mean Gene. So let's go, right? So Jade Cargill goes for the pin. This is the first botch. So as you can see, right? The eye of the storm, the eye of the storm. Is that all Michael? The eye of the Michael Cole, right? His commentary, modern day, right, is just repeating the same thing over and over again. Michael Cole, you suck. Right? The eye of the storm, the eye of the storm. Right, so she hits the eye of the storm, right? Goes for the pin. We have a 1. We have almost a 2, right? Wait, did that count as a 2? Hold on, let's just read. Right, so the referee gets down, not the only fuck up she does in the next 30 seconds, but mind you. 1. So this is what I don't get, right? This is just a fucking disaster. So the referee gets down, right? This is at 1.5. The Nia Jax is like, I need to push Jade Cargill off of me because Tiffany Stratton's not going to make it in time, right? So I would actually argue that she is making it in time, and this is just a fucking horrific botch for Nia Jax, right? So look, say the referee counts that, right? Her hand's going back up for the come down. I think if the referee does she might need to reel the count in enough, But I don't think that would have looked that bad, right? But what happens is that Nia Jax kicks out at 1.5 from the Eye of the Storm, right? Which is a massive. Is that not Jade Cargill's? Well, I'll say it's a massive move. It's a Diddy move, but it's her finishing move, right? So then she kicks out at 1.5, which is just a disaster in itself. Then pushes Jade Cargill, but because she's pushed Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton has come in for the to break it up with a kick. But because she's pushed Jade Cargill, it's ended up putting Jade Cargill in a different position, which means Tiffany Stratton just connects with her right foot on Jade Cargill's thigh region, which is just a disaster. But yeah, I didn't even notice this earlier, but the next bit is the worst. So Jade Cargill's away. Tiffany's like, right, I'm going to pin you, Nia. Again, she doesn't need to pin her. Because the reality is here, I think she's supposed to do the PME and then pin her. Because let's just face facts, right? You would have to be a dumb fuck not to understand this in terms of wrestling psychology. Nia Jax can't kick out at 1.5 of the Eye of the Storm, and then Tiffany Stratton kicks Jade Cargill off of Nia Jax, and then beats Nia Jax 1, 2, 3 for doing a move to her. How's that work? That just doesn't work, right? How many times in wrestling, I mean, this is back in the day, they never do it now. How many times in wrestling would you have seen a heel, right, hit a move on a face? They would count them, their finisher, 1, 2, 3/4, right? Then they'd be like, what the fuck, how'd that no beat him? Then they'd pin him again, and with each pinfall, they would get a bit less. How, in the name of fuck, can Nia Jax kick out at 1.5, folks, and then not kick out for this? It's a disaster. All round, it's a disaster. I mean, the person for me that didn't fuck up is Jade Cargill, and she's obviously the greenest. Oh, that is bogging into it. Let's just get this pin again.
Cover now on Nia Jax. Tiffany Stratton. A 2 count and a kick out.
Oh god, man, that actually makes you cringe. Then look at the fucking state of Nia Jax. About 5 seconds have passed, right? And what does she do? She puts her big fucking bargain bucket KFC arm up, man.
A 2 count and a kick out.
Oh, that's fucking horrific, man. And they're just... No wonder the fans are booing the fuck out of that. Just 4 people that are incompetent and don't have a fucking Scooby snack. Then she hits the PME here. Don't really... I mean, this is irrelevant, right? Then she wins. Just fucking awful. Is it the worst botch of all time, right? Obviously... I mean, it's how you define a botch, right? There's other botches, right, that are far more memorable and obviously ended up being worse. Like McMahon doing both of his quads at the 2005 Rumble is just a freak incident, right? But obviously, when we look back at that, that's the end of a Royal Rumble between Cena and Batista. They botched. If you look at that 2005 Rumble and you look at John Cena and Batista's botch, it's a perfect botch. You could not ask for a botch to go any better, but then Vince does his quads in and has to sit in the ring like a fucking idiot. But obviously, that's just a freak incident, the McMahon double quad break. But at least when Cena and Batista botched, it looked good. None of this looked good. People will look at the Shockmaster and when he came through the wall. Again, bit of a freak incident, because what's supposed to happen is that he breaks through the wall, but what happened is he broke through the wall, but the bit at the bottom where his legs and feet are didn't break, so he trips and the mask comes off. Again, it's a mess, but it's not through... I mean, you could say it's a bit of incompetence and a bit of poor planning, but it's not just from it's not from being a bad worker, it's not from being a bad wrestler. This has just got everything to do with people being in a role they fucking shouldn't be. They should never be in a SmackDown main event. This proves it, man. This proves it. How are we sitting, right, at the end of this year with another Tiffany Stratton Nia Jax match? They're horrific. Right, I'm trying to think of other botches off the top of my head. I mean, it's like Randy Orton when he does the RKO to Jericho and he misses and he just falls on his arse. Then he runs and does it again. Again, that's not too bad because Jericho still continues to do the walls of Jericho like you would, because that guy slipped up, so I can still apply my finisher. Then Orton eventually hits him with it. It's not that bad. I mean, yeah, you've got Owen Hart breaking Austin's neck. Again, that's just a freak incident. It's a bit sloppy, but it doesn't. This looks horrific and bad. I mean, yeah, a neck break is horrific, right? But this just exposes the business, man. This is a botch that exposes the business on a whole new level, and you just know. See if it's under McMahon, they're afraid to go back through the curtain because they know they're going to get lambasted. See with Triple H, he's going to cuddle them and pretend that was great. Oh, see when me and Shawn Michaels used to wrestle, guys. Oh, we used to do that. We used to do that every night. No, you didn't. Right? I was listening to a short earlier. It was like Jericho talking about WrestleMania 19 and how they were talking about his match with Shawn was up for match of the night between their match and Brock and Kurt. And Jericho's like, Shawn said, the fuck can that match be with our match? Brock landed on his fucking head. And then it's like that just proves how Shawn Michaels fought back in 2003. He's like, well, how could a match be better than mine when there was a pretty big botch in it and mine and Jericho's was pretty much perfect? So right, so that's it. Yeah, I think Michaels is right. Michaels Jericho is definitely better than Angle and Brock. I'd argue, even without the botch, even if Brock lands the 450, I'd still put Michaels and Jericho above it. But it goes to show you that Michaels back in 2003 is that much of a perfectionist, where there can't be a botch, right? And that's why he puts that match down. But now we're seeing this gimmick. Well, it's not a gimmick, but we're just seeing this acceptance of mediocrity. And I don't know what Triple H and Shawn Michaels are at, man, but you just know they're wrapping these fucking these jobbers in cotton wool and bubble wrap, cotton wool bubble wrap, man. It's embarrassing, man. It's just as wrestling as the art form we know it is fucking dead. Mediocrity is rewarded. These jobbers are getting paid more than fucking the legends of the past, and it actually makes me sick to say that, but they are, man, and it's no right. Just an absolute disaster this was. But again, they shouldn't be in the role they're in. So as much as we can pin blame on them, I'd like to pin blame on the fucking women's movement and the amount of people that got forced down our throat the past decade, right? Because for the vast majority of the women, right, over the last decade, most of them can't work, and most of the matches end up like this. Not all of them. There's some good female workers. Not going to turn around and say they're all shite. And hell, there's a lot of men that botch as well. But see if the men put on an end of a match in a SmackDown, like we bash, right? I can't stand Sami Zayn. I can't stand Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, right? But I can sit here and say they would never in a million fucking years be this bad. They just would not be. Anyway, leave your thoughts down below. An absolute disaster all around. Also, another funny thing for Mania 19, Johnny Ace was like, "You went 4 minutes over," and Shawn Michaels said, "When you put on a 5-star match, then that's when you can complain about us being over. So shut the fuck up." Shawn Michaels, even in 2003, he had that dog in him. Anyway, till next time, peace.